Hey guys, happy Tuesday. Glad to see you. Glad to have you with us. Of course, we started off this week talking about, on yesterday, the wilderness experience and how to handle your wilderness experience. And we're going to take a page out of Jesus' book over in Matthew chapter 4. It says, then Jesus was led by the Spirit into the wilderness. It says to be tempted there by the devil for 40 days, 40 nights. He fasted and became very hungry. And it says, during that time, the devil came and said to him, if you are the Son of God, tell these stones to become loaves of bread. But Jesus told him, no, the scripture says, people do not live by bread alone, but by every word that proceeds out or comes from the mouth of the Lord. And so the wilderness is a time in the life of a believer when you ask the question, God, where are you? You need to hear from God and there's silence. You pray and your prayers seem flat. Then in frustration sets in because you know you've heard from God before. You've heard God answer you. And I just really want to say this. Welcome to the wilderness experience, because we've all been there and some of us are even there right now. Again, like we said yesterday, what is the purpose of the wilderness experience? Is really to prepare us for something bigger. And we read the scripture, or we read a little bit about the children of Israel and their experience, but let's pick up a little bit more. This time we're reading from 1 Corinthians 10, verse 6. It says, now these things became our examples to the intent that we should not lust after evil things as they lusted, and do not become idolaters as were some of them. As it is written, the people sat down to eat, drink, rose up to play, nor let us commit sexual immorality as some of them did, and in one day 23,000 fell. Nor let us tempt Christ as some of them also tempted and were destroyed of serpents. Verse 10 says, nor complain as some of them complained and were destroyed by the destroyer. Now all these things happened to them as examples, and it says, and they were written for our admonition, for our learning, upon the ends of the ages have come. Therefore let him who thinks he stands take heed lest he fall. And we know this verse, 1 Corinthians 10:13 says, no temptation has overtaken you except such as common to man. God is faithful, who will not allow you to be tempted beyond what you are able, but will with the temptation always make the way of escape that you may be able to bear it or endure it. God, when he's helping you, he wants you to learn the lesson and forget the detail. There's always a way out, but the way out is based on our preparation. Did God give us, and did we receive, did we obey and do everything God wanted us to do in that wilderness experience? And so when we look for shortcuts and we do not know why God has us in this situation, a wilderness season, we ask, why am I going through this? What is happening? And since you did not know before, maybe today, that the wilderness season is a positive thing that you experience, hardship kind of comes in, frustration begins to mount, and maybe even defeat because you did not understand the season. And the children of Israel obviously didn't understand the purpose of the wilderness experience. And God's purpose really was to test or to prove them, to get them ready for the next, to get them ready for the promised land. Because there's something greater, something bigger on the other side of your test. And so we got to recognize that, because he really wanted them to be sanctified warriors for him, so he can go out and do great and mighty things. So the children of Israel perceived the wilderness experience as punishment. So what did they do? They murmured. They complained. They were in constant lust. And so what happened? When the time came for them to enter the promised land, guess what? They were not ready. I want you to be ready to enter your promised land. I want you to be ready to step into that next. Preparation is never lost time. Come on, man. Hope this is getting good. It's going to get even better. See you guys tomorrow on the Faith for Today podcast.